Yeah, I think I screwed that one up because you definitely, yeah. Let's see here. Oh, am I?
And we are now live.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I think this is it. Let me drop this a little bit so we can see the ladder a little more. Oh. All right. I think we got a good start here. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
All right. All right. So,
making you host right now.
I'm gonna put something out. We may or may not get more people in the future. I'm starting just trying to get people out at least to my practice. Just mentioning that we're going to be doing drills an hour before practice, and that you don't have to be a fighter or anything else. Come out and do drills, get some exercise, learn balance, all that kind of things. I'm going to push that a little bit of strength. I'm going to bring we'll probably add a few additional things. I know Elfwin had some ball work she did and pole work she did for grip and change. I'm going to bring, I'm going to bring a box for box jumps and a slam ball for building power in the arms and stuff. So I'm going to show some different stuff and try to break in some fundamental other things into this practice. I did open it up and say we had a Zoom. So, you know, I'll try to blend depending on how many new people show up. I'll try to blend the two, but you guys are going to probably have to be patient, and I'll probably need your help if you see people doing stuff wrong and things like that. Don't be afraid to stop and say, hey, you know, you know, we'll you know, this just remind or stop and essentially say, hey, we should probably review this again so that I know somebody's doing wrong. If you know, because more people looking, and if they see issues, I can watch. So we'll talk about how we can do that. But really, I'm just trying to get into a point where to get people back out active. And the more you build that community, the more likely they're going to come. I don't care if they're fencers. I don't care what they are. I don't care if they just want to come out and be physically better with their bodies. That's perfectly fine. Next big trick is I want a big thanks out to Germanicus and Grimmer sent some video up. Those really helped me review what we have to cover. Couple of things I know we're still going to have to cover is a little bit more technical with swords and return work with swords, and a little bit of timing as well. So those type of videos help me focus on the things that are immediately the things I see that can help. So we'll talk about those later in the video. Let's see, I'm just seeing who else we have. I think Bron is just wrapping up, putting some stuff on. Bron's gonna come out and do some ladder work with us as well. Let us, are those guys here? Where'd they go? Oh, they took the little ones over to play? Okay.
Still says live on Facebook.
So I'm going to go ahead and switch this to, I think Louis has the screen, so he gets to switch on Facebook. And
I've given you host, and I have now switched off my laptop. And
okay, so I'm the host then.
So you should be able to switch if you want to switch.
Okay, perfect. So then that's that we'll leave it here right now, and we'll go on there. All right, let's get our basic warm up in. Let's do the flat foot squats again. I'll come over here just in case. There we go. Remember, this one's not a huge deal. You're gonna bend over just because your heels are on the ground. And you know, if you have a ball, this is a nice thing to have something in your hands. This helps your knees not go over your toes. The ball kind of balances you so you don't fall. Otherwise, you have to use your shoulders to balance you. Archery. Let's get 10, 15 of those in. If people haven't done it already, and this can go for warm-ups as well, our drills as well. Sometimes a logbook really does help, especially when you're fighting. So if you have kind of a diary or logbook, one of the things I usually ask, at least my squires to do, is write down the things that you did good. Just 3 things you did good that came out of practice or that you've been trying to do better. And then write down 3 things that you need to work on. That goes a long way into helping, you know, if I ask, it's like, what do you need to work on? And if you're reviewing with me, usually there's those things I'll ask all the time. All right, let's get those on the toes this time. So let's lift it up all the way. Push it out on those toes. Like you're going to be going to the ball of your feet, and then I literally want you to do a toe up and then back down. In this case, you're going to keep your back nice and straight and back up, toe up. Get the strength in those toes and back down. Strength in those feet really do help. And I've noticed with a number of people that they tend to be heel down a lot. Their balance of their foot tends to be even, and they don't tend to switch from front to back. The trick is being able to switch from front to back, especially when you're in the midst of actually trying to move and things. You really want to be on the ball of your foot. Those toes act as extra momentum and grab and balance. They allow you to push that distance when we do the next exercise, which I'm going to talk to Grimmer about, and Germanicus. Because in most of the fights I've seen, a lot of times you're stepping to throw again, instead of trying to set up that perfect range where you can block and throw just by leaning. So if I lean, I throw, I go back into the center. So the trick in that exercise is that we're going to have to do that on the Pel more, and we'll talk about again. We'll talk about that. So going to that next exercise. This is used in fighting all the time. The problem is if you're flat-footed and you can tell, you leave your heel on the ground, see how far you go forward. You don't really go forward very far unless you bend over, and then you feel like you're going forward, but you're actually changing angles of your blow and block. Now, get up all the way on that toe and really press it into that toe. Now you can see how much farther. And then when we go back, I don't care, you're on your heels all the way back. At this point, everybody online should be able to lift their front foot easy. Stay in a squat. Okay, and then all the way back forward. Later on, I'm going to make, especially Grimmer and Germanicus, I want you guys to get on your Pel, and you're going to practice just figuring out where your real range is, because I think you guys are not actually, you're so used to your old range, you don't realize you have a different range now. Keep that back nice and straight. You almost curl it a little. There you go. Good. Puffing, yeah, puffing, and the hips have to come underneath you. There we go. And then back. When you get really good and you get out on these toes and all that weight's there, sometimes you can get that balance. You can lift that back foot and then put it back on the ground. There we go. That's tough, ain't it? Yes. Bend that knee. Good. You should be transitioning not up and down, but straight. Yes, this is a very good one to practice in the mirror so you can see if your head is moving up and down as you do it. Because if it moves up, then you're losing distance. I do see people moving down to get some angle, but your best straight angle to your opponent is a straight line. So remember that. Okay, let's switch legs. Let's do it again. I do this because, again, the idea is we don't care what leg we're striking from. We want to be in a position we know we can strike from both the same way. The more comfortable you are, the more likely you're going to be able to do that. Okay, I'm going to watch a little bit here for a second.
Huge thanks to Louis for setting us up. Craig, I'm just going to highlight you if you don't mind. There we go. Nice job, buddy. Yep, all the way forward. Make sure you get that bend in the leg. You're a tall guy, so you're going to push yourself to bend those legs a little bit. There you go. Now you're right on that rope. We're forward and back. There you go. Good. Much better. Awesome. That's a very nice job. I'm going to see how Germanicus is doing here. Good. That's nice back. Yep. And I know that your knees, you got to watch this a little bit. So when you go forward, I want you to tuck that hip under you a little bit more and arch your shoulders back a little bit. There, right there. You see how much you get about an extra inch out of that, because now you're balancing yourself. Arch it. Don't arch up. There you go. Just arch it.
Not taking the load.
Yeah, so the idea is as I'm here, you notice I keep this, I push this underneath me, and that load goes into the toes, right over those toes.
Can you switch back to you when you're showing us?
Yeah, I'll show it again. There we are. Place. All right. Here I am. So again, so what I see is people doing this, they never shift this hip back or forward. And you see how my back's a little bit leaning forward. You see that? So by shifting this under, I can actually lean over that front foot a little bit more. All right. So the idea is, and your angles don't change. You see how my hips go underneath me? Watch, here I am. My hip stays centered on my body. Here I am. Look how my hip leads this instead. So again, this is all about that control of center. You guys have been learning this through all these exercises, but this becomes the real key, is that control of your center. Where your center goes, your feet can follow, right? So that's what we're learning in this exercise. This exercise later, we're going to put you guys, both Grimmer and Germanicus, on your rappel, and I'm going to make you strike out of those positions. And then we're going to also work on speed and return of those strikes. All right. So just some simple warm-ups, like Bess talks about. Take them nice and slow. Just kind of warm up those legs. Do a little bit of stretching. Let it just, your real stretch should come later after we're all warmed up. I'm terrible at doing that, but I can tell you right now, I feel this one right in my hamstrings real bad. I'm not as good at doing this anymore as I used to be. Do it 2 or 3 times. For a while, I was doing these when I was working out all the time, so I could literally touch my forehead to the knees again. But right now, I can feel it right in my hamstrings all the way up. So this exercise can be done with a slightly bent leg too. Straight legs on this will push it, but you have to watch a little, because it does stress your knees a little bit. But as you get better, you can straighten them a little bit more if you feel better about it. Or start them bent, get into a comfortable position, and then try to straighten them a little bit, and you can feel the stretch happen. Again, nice and slow. Bess is supposed to send me some leg warmers next time, and some
a bandana and, you know, stuff she used to have when she trained.
Little sweatbands for you, little things for your
Yeah,
wrist.
tagging, you know, around the wrist. We'll get
Yeah.
some Chinese music. We'll be good. Yeah, t-shirt, cut the neck out.
For me, for me,
Alright.
very early
Yeah,
childhood memories of my babysitters.
Yeah, let me turn my
I
speakers.
can't wait. till
Hey,
You're sitting back in the chair with your head back and the
It
big
wasn't a
bucket.
bad memory, Bass.
All right. Just a little bit of stretch side to side. Man, I was doing these before too, and they go away fast for me.
You never know how important leg adductors are until you pull one.
So I'm going to warn everybody. One thing I noticed, and I probably have to get, is an external speaker. It's hard to hear on my computer. So.
all right, there's a little something for y'all in the chat.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I got to see this.
Can you open it? Yeah. I hope so.
Oh, why does it want me to save it?
Fine, whatever.
I'll drop it in the group chat later then.
Ah, there we go. That's awesome.
Right?
I never remember you like that.
That was a Dark Moon 80s throwback party.
Yeah, that's about right.
So we're about ready. I'm gonna see. Oh no, I gotta stay on here thinking about it. All right. I was gonna switch my audio to my phone to see if it was any better, but I need to get one of those external Bluetooth speakers. That's what we usually have. Oh, like a head. Oh, see, that's Bron's like, if I get the headset and then the wristbands and.
Oh my God. I will pay for that.
All right, let's go. 2-foot run. Remember which foot you're starting with. Go take your time. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, and you can do it right next to it too.
Two in the same back.
Yep. So put one and then the other one comes in and then, yeah, exactly. Good. Perfect. Ron's going to love this next one. Let's do this one backwards since we got time. Oh, no, we got to do the other foot. Keep those knees back. You can go ahead and keep your hands up. Awesome. We're just going to do one back, pick whatever foot you want. You go on the side of the ladder for this as well. He is choppy, small feet. And grab backwards.
Same way.
Same way, back, just backwards. Nice. You don't have to be on the ladder if you don't want. You can go on the side. You have nice, small feet, just like that. Exactly. Ron has these like, this is how you fight backwards. All right, now our favorite, at least my least favorite, hopscotch.
Not on backwards.
Yeah, we're just gonna do one backwards. Keep those knees bent, your head should not be coming up and down.
Lucky muscle. Job.
Nice
I'm
job.
probably the wrong person.
Look, as
for
soon as
that.
I say nice job, I trip her. There we go. Good. Yeah. Now keep those knees nice and bent. There we go. That's okay.
Yeah, seriously, the ladder is a peril.
The ladder is a peril. We might have to tighten it up. We always end up into that.
Oh, I've already
Well, this is-
loosened it.
Oh, did you?
I mean,
Oh, by accident. Yep. All right. We're going to try this backwards. Keep those hips under you. Okay.
Never leave.
No, backwards. Yeah, you have to watch your knee.
Because the muscles, no, just because the muscles are trained differently now.
Right.
Like a tube, I fall halfway through, they lock up.
All right. Now we're going to go to the easy ones, our skiers or our drop step. So again, this is not reach out. Your foot shouldn't be leading your hip. Your hip leads your foot. We can just point where we want to go. Whoop, and we fall right in there. If you have to do it slow first. Ah!
That's because you're falling asleep.
Don't lift first. Kind of remember, this is just like what
Lean first.
lean first.
Lean.
So what I do, and that's exactly that's it right there. Yeah, make them nice and small. That's a little bit of the shuffle. That's okay. Good. All right, we're going to try this backwards. This time you're just going to sit into the 45. And again, this is that kind of idea that Cy said last week, and that is you could literally lift this foot up here and fall into that position. Lift your foot up, fall. Lift it up, don't reach out, fall. Lift, just falling into the empty foot. And that helps you really identify if you're kind of using the wrong foot or the balance. There you go, good. Yes. Try it backwards, I know. Right. So this is, take your time on this one. Try that lifting foot thing again. There you go, and lift that foot up. Yep, exactly. Yeah, that one, yep. Yep, and then your hip just falls. That's all right, we'll be doing that one, by the way. Awesome. Now straighten your back. You can do it. There you go. Be a big guy like you are. Got a little workout in, did we?
Yeah.
All right. So that's our normal skiers. If these are you're still working on your skier, go ahead and we're going to do them again for the people that know this one. This one we're going to do wide skiers. In other words, we're going to put the ladder in between you and where you're going to land. So in this skier, what's happening is here, and I literally push off that foot this time. Instead of just fall, I push. This is where that toe strength comes in. Right? So as you get stronger, farther you can go. Just be careful in here. Good. All right, gonna see how people are doing out there. That's nice, Wilbert. Good idea. That's the way. So Wilbert's doing forward and backwards and changing up his distance. Watch where your feet are. Make sure your feet are landing into your normal good form that you can throw from. Exactly. Don't lose that. Oh, there he goes off the ladder. Hopefully he comes back and didn't like bang his head on something. He's not back yet. Oh, there he is. Oh, that's too funny. Thanks for a laugh. That was awesome. Good. That's the way, Germanicus. That's exactly. You're doing a nice job lifting and falling into those steps. That's what I want to see.
Spot liking it, Grammer. You're the man. Let's see these things. Now, no jump. No jump. Slide. There. There you go. Right there. That's better. Very nice. All right. Let's do those backwards. Let's do it backwards. Go on. Backwards. Right there. You see how you're kind of bursting across now? Almost like jumping at the very end. Let's have you, Dan. Yeah. And then keep that good stance. Don't worry about making them too big. Just make them small at first. There you go. Good. Good job, man.
Yeah, got him right there. Yeah. Go ahead.
My right knee really dislikes going backwards to the left.
His right knee dislikes going backwards to the left.
Yeah, so be careful if you're having trouble going in a direction like it's hurting you, then you should stop. Now, if it's a scenario where you think you can stretch in the future and get something out of it, that's fine. If you can make it smaller and still do it, that's fine as well. So work within the restrictions you have and not past them, because we want you next time to be on video as well.
It's crunchy.
All right, so the next one is the shuffle skier. So Bron was demonstrating that to us. This time the difference is we're gonna load the foot that's under us. We're loading the different foot. So we're gonna load this foot. This foot comes over about halfway and then we're back out. Almost like you're shuffling them together, almost like you're gonna kick your toe with your heel. But the key is I'm loading this foot. I lift this one up, this one comes over, back out. Load, I'm just shifting over for the load, comes over, back out. A little less wide. There you go, good. Okay, not as big a crossover. Think about right in the middle. There you go. So this isn't a crossover one. This is just this shuffle one. The shuffle is your feet are coming together and then shuffling out. There's no crossover of your feet in this one. No, so it's only halfway.
Step in the front. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Just right in front of your other toe. Yeah, load on that foot. So go bring it back where it was. Now, go ahead. So it was here, right? Load here, here. Load here, here. Yeah, right in front of your toe. Load on this one. Okay. So no, that you're doing the one step. Here you go again. Here's your foot. Bring it together. Out. Oh. Okay.
I think what I do when I stand up straight.
Foot. Bring it right in the front of that toe. Yeah, actually, we're doing these early. Here, let's do it over here. All right. So here you go. So front foot, and load onto it. Just here you are. Right. Bring this one in front, and then out. Now load on. Oh, don't step with that. So load it on the back. Bring it in front. Out. Right from the other toe. Next. And then out. Now load onto this. Bring your foot off. So what usually happens is on here. Out. Here. Okay. Yeah. So you just have to load it. Whatever makes in the box, you keep loading. Yeah, exactly. You got big steps, so you're wanting an extra step. Exactly. All right, you guys do it backwards.
We did.
All right. Right in front. Yep, there, right there. Now, don't bring the other step back with you. Leave it. Yeah, and now load out. There you go, and then out, and then leave that foot. So here we are. We're here. We're gonna load the foot.
We're gonna go back.
We're gonna
Might as
load.
well go back. We're just going backwards again.
Yeah.
Initiative. There we go. Proper English.
Exactly. You're not moving
I
that
swear I
one.
could see.
You can do yes. Exactly.
I want to get that flag
Now
for the
you
house.
upload that.
Welcome to our house. Roll for initiative. Nice. Hilariously, none of us have played D&D forever. but-
Yep, we'll work on it. This is one I actually had trouble with at the beginning too. What happens in this one is the foot goes behind the other one.
Right, it's just not me. So feel
Right,
better.
exactly. This is, I had a huge issue with this. Once you get in a rhythm, it helps, and then I'd forget it every damn time too. All right, so
Angle
angled skiers. So this was this one, right?
45.
We get on to 45. Same thing. The only difference in this one is really, is this still a shuffle skier or is it?
Nope, it's just a step.
Yeah, it's a shuffle though. It's a shuffle step.
Okay, yeah. it's a step.
All right, so this is going to be a skier. The trick is we start at a 45. We want to end at a 45. So our foot turns in this exercise. Really, the only difference here is now we're turning. I load this leg. That one goes in the next box. I'm
And
here.
our hips have to fling themselves about so we don't hurt our knees.
Am I doing it wrong?
No, she's saying your hips have to pivot
Yes.
along with your
Along with your
your
toe.
foot sets up where your hips are gonna go.
Right. Here you are. And again, you're as you're pivoting your hips, that leg allows that leg to turn. If you don't pivot your hips, you're not going to turn. In fact, this exercise can be done by just sweeping your hips, but that's a little more advanced. So for the folks on the phone, I want back and forth, change it up. You all experience, 2 forward, 1 back, change up the way you're doing them. So again, we start on a 45 here. Take the same way up there. There you go. This foot turns, so what's going to happen is you load this back foot. Yeah, exactly. And then you're on another 45. Now you load here, turn. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Good. Now this one loads, this one comes in front. No, the other one.
Trying to steer it.
Yep, there we go. And turn. Remember that foot turns as you're coming across. Here you are. Turn
Takes a second.
and whoop, no,
Okay.
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
finding
So we're
which
turning
direction. So
here.
go slow, step your
We're
foot
turning
in.
here.
Yep, that's it. Yep, you got it.
Well,
I'll do the first one and
Well,
find
no,
the
because
Yeah, the
you
first
switch
one's
that.
big.
And then, yep, we'll do those backwards. Again, for you folks on a phone, these can change up really easily.
same. Gotta get comfortable for our so, yeah.
So let's keep doing it for you. Yeah. So I turn this hip. Yeah, and then here. Kind of, yeah. Right, now I'm gonna load this and turn this hip this way. Yep. And here. Yep. Now I'm doing it wrong. That you keep doing that. I don't know why.
It's just weird.
Yeah, it is.
It's, yeah.
It takes just, again, you're here.
I feel my knees are real
This
stiff. It's hard to
just
get-
turns that you load the one, kind of load the one in the
I'm
ladder.
gonna try doing it on.
Okay. Well, and you really,
Remind me, try doing it though.
you load this one in the ladder, this next one goes in the next box.
Right.
Load the one in the ladder, the next one goes in the next box. So that's where the ladder helps understand which one you're supposed to load.
I'm not our teeth. I'm not messing.
I was about to say, the hilarious point is Art uses a heck ton of math.
All right, so the next one is 3-step. So Braun was actually doing this one when he was trying to do the single. And the idea on the 3-step is here we are in the ladder. Here we step. We step. Am I doing that right? Bess, am I doing that one right?
Am I supposed to be shuffling?
Yeah, it's a 3-step shuffle. So one foot
Yes.
starts out, one starts in. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Looks
okay.
perfect.
So just step
Yeah,
forward.
there you go.
Yep.
It's a really fun one.
So this one, go ahead and sit down in. There we go.
Very much dancing. Similar dance stuff. Well, now he wants to do 4-step.
He is doing it for you. You are exact 4-step. It's awesome.
Oh, no. I'll go in front of you and you can just
No,
copy.
I can't even do that.
So,
We should see play D&D horribly.
so if you start, you step in a box, over, and step in a box.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, go ahead. There you
So
go.
one-
Step in a box over. Right, stop right there.
Oh, and
Leave your
don't
foot
pull
in.
your foot out.
Now step
Yeah.
forward with that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there we go. Now step forward with the one. Yep, there you go.
There we are.
Yes.
There we are. Yep, exactly. Perfect.
People learning.
And backward.
Exactly.
Yeah. Later, you'll be the fastest one.
I would got X many years to live. Like, how'd you win? It took a week, but I wore them down. That's right. Like I got my
Hey,
8 hours
Josh,
sleep in 3 days.
Yeah, I
Happy
love that
birthday.
one. All right, the next one is that cross behind step.
That's behind. Yeah. So you're up
So
the
we-
side of the ladder.
Yep.
And then across. You don't even step into the ladder at all.
Right, so again, this is kind of shuffling over the ladder, but a cross behind instead of bursting this way, like we were before, just bursting back and forth. This one, here we are. We shuffle this back foot. Remember, when we shuffle, try to keep that foot pointing forward. The shuffle is like the largest step.
You're actually leaving the ground then.
Why is the last or the back foot?
Using the ground, yeah.
So you're actually lifting both feet off the ground. at one
Yes, 100%. What's that? Somebody mentioned something? Everybody good? Okay. So yeah, so in order of distance, and this is important that people understand this.
You're still on it.
The lift drop step is the smallest distance. The shuffle step, so here we are. That shuffle step gives us a little bit more distance because we can create momentum now. And the biggest one is that shuffle, that crossover step behind becomes huge. And that really pays off in an exercise like this. And we do this in practice a lot, where we're just shuffle stepping and tracking each other. Nice and balanced, up and down. And I added a cross step, which changed that distance for her. And then now what happens in that distance, again, here I am, shuffle stepping, cross step, and I can start turning on her edge.
Why does the back foot cross?
Say that again?
Why does the back foot cross and not the front foot?
Because the key on the back foot crossing is you can do the front foot too, but be careful. It depends on when you want to throw your shot. So if I cross with this back foot on Braun, I can literally turn and throw. Okay? If I cross with the front foot, I can't really turn. And I can't throw yet because the wrong hip is forward. Does that make sense?
Also, when your back foot crosses, you have a tendency to want to push your right hip forward a little bit, which goes along with throwing your shot.
So this is all about that timing of shot, that pad drill we work on. This is why we work on that drill.
Can't you step wider with the final step and throw the shot?
Yeah, but then you're essentially 2 beats instead of 1, right? So if I cross in front and then I do a second step, that's 2 steps. if I oops, sorry. If I cross in front, I have to take a second step to throw a blow. If I cross behind, I could literally throw that blow right now. And my hip is already turning, all your body's lined up to do it. In front, again, it's here I am. I can't turn yet. I have to literally take this second shuffle step to throw. So hopefully that helps in understanding why front to back. Now that, again, that may change if you're right or left-handed, or which foot is forward. Normally, if I'm fighting goofy foot, that same thing. If I do this one first, I guess even goofy foot, I could still. So non-goofy foot, you could pass here, but it's going to take a little longer because I got a second step. This is where you find places to do stuff. So you may be a little bit when you may have to set up, change your feet, and then do the shuffle step. So you have to find that place depending on your feet, also depending on your or the direction. So distance could mean if she's coming at me, right? I'm normal. She steps in. I could be here. I do a shuffle step away. But I'm doing two defensive factors here and an offensive one. She's stepping, I'm changing my angle, and I'm throwing a shot. So I'm increasing distance, changing angle, throwing a shot. So there's two pieces of defense and one piece of offense. Backwards. Yep, go ahead. So step back. Cross in front when you go backwards. There we go. Step, cross. Right across the whole ladder if you have to. Okay, step behind step. And we'll go into the fourth step that Ron was just doing. I know, it's exact. He'll be doing the sixth step, and when we asked him to do the fourth step. Hey, good to see you. See you too. How you doing?
Holy crap. Is that you?
I know. I'm happy to hear. So we do a bunch of drills at around noon. You're welcome to join us. Usually every other week I can put you on a list. Sure. And this is all for balance, movement, setup, throwing. You got it. So we focus a lot on footwork and things like that to add to our fight. No foundation, no building. You got it. All right. So fourth step. So again, at this one you can change up, but it's in, out, out. In, out. Try to end in your stance. All fun. All right. So this is that same piece that you could actually, if you don't have a lot of room, you can run on either side of the ladder. Welcome to join us. We'll help. So yeah, get right there. In, out, out. Yes. In, out, out. Perfect. Yeah. Look, this teaches you to do smaller steps as well, which is good because those smaller steps keep your hips under you. Okay, so get right here on the side of the ladder, and then in, out, out. Put both feet in. Yep, there you go. Perfect.
There we are.
Now straighten that back up. Get those hips under you. We'll work on those. Right now it's just in, out, out. Good. So let's do that backwards. Woo. Yes, I need to watch my balance. Keep those knees bent. So as the class grows, I'll bring out more ladders for everybody. So we'll speed up ours. I know that we're going, you guys get double the work we do because we got so many people doing it. Yep, in, out, out. Perfect. Exactly. Yeah, this really works on those small feet and where you end at the end. Yeah, this is the next one is
Lateral in and out, out.
yeah, lateral in and out, out. So in this one, where we're here, we out, or you can go in and oh, is that one? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know
see
which.
that one on the list.
Yeah, you were doing forward in and out.
Yeah, I think that's usually towards the end.
So this
So-
is lateral, this is forward.
Forward, yes, okay. So lateral in and out. This is just a agility drill. Again, on the first step, really what we're looking for is I load up this back leg, I fall in. Notice how my whole body moves. Then I load up this front leg, I fall out. I fall in, I fall out. Fall in, fall out. As you do this faster, your body will tend to just be a little bit back and forth. You can work on speed or you can work on the in and out. Like Ron's doing a nice job working on in and out. His whole body is moving in and out of those, over that line he's working over. Dan has some agility going, so his body isn't working as big, but he's working fast. So really even good in here.
Yep. Or run in place.
Or run in place.
And do it on the other side.
Yep, now do it on the other side. There we go, good. Yeah. Let me get some tape. Or did you open it? Awesome, that's fine. Yeah, I brought it.
So I think the forward in and out is the one I was talking about.
Yes. So now we're gonna do the forward in and out out. So usually I'll start with my legs wide, just get the format. In, out, out, in, out, out. So this is teaching you how to move your feet back and shift your balance forward so you're actually moving in a forward direction. Tuck those hips a little more. Yep. One at a time. In, out, out. Right. You got it. Nice. And then William makes us all look like chumps. I need to move those hammers over here. Hold on, our ladder's a little loose. I'm fixing it. Go ahead, let's go backwards.
While you're fixing it,
Yeah, just trip over him. Yeah, run into him.
I'll climb the ladder.
Yeah, and I have one. That's the worst part. I just don't remember when. I had it for a couple weeks. Louis is the professional at this. It's always better when Louis does these. He always go loose when I do.
Keep your center over the same point. Your feet are the only thing that are moving outside of it.
Go out.
Yeah.
Like no
Do
haircut.
it again. Let's race. Forward or back.
Uh-oh, now we got a race. Look at this, we got a challenge. Oh, I think William got it by a foot. If you didn't hear that one, she said, good job, you beat the pregnant lady.
Hey, she's running for 2.
What'd you say, Beth?
She's running for 2.
Yes, exactly. That was two people running for sure. All right, jab step. Again, this is one that I've still been adding a lot into my practices. I haven't seen very many others add it. I have heard it's been successful with a few people. Angie's been able to use it out in Ireland and so on. In fact, the first time she used it, she said it almost seemed too simple to jab and throw. So I use this jab step to keep my opponent sometimes in position. If it looks like my opponent's starting ready to go, I'll just jump there for a second and it'll freeze their feet. See? So the idea is that jab step is no different than a fake jab. We're making them think we're going forward, freezes them because they don't want to run into us, and then we create distance again. So just like in boxing, just fall in. Again, this is my back foot, and then I just lift that front foot, fall in. Same thing goes in return. Lift the back foot, fall out. Again, we're working in and out of this ladder. You see how my body changes back and forth. That's a good jab step. Watch you turning your foot in on the jab. Do not turn your foot in on that jab. Otherwise, your hips start turning as well. Nice job keeping low there, William. There you go. Don't turn that foot in. Turn it out. There we go. Good.
Basically pretend like it's way out, because then it actually gets it straight.
Good.
I don't pretend it's really far out.
Yep. So we're learning how to fall sideways on this one, as well as we're learning drop step forward and a drop step back. Go ahead. The other way now. On this side, right? Or switch feet. Switch feet. This is a good exercise for you because you got that turning foot all the time. So this really makes you think about turning it forward, doesn't it?
Yep.
Because I know that's a struggle not turning that inside while you do this step.
Well, literally, I'm thinking that it's out, and it's actually just barely straight.
Exactly.
Let me go the other way.
Where we're going?
We're doing goofy
Other
foot.
side.
Oh, okay.
Other foot. And then we're doing regular foot on the other side.
All right, I'm going to take a look, see how you guys are doing.
Time for the quiz.
Yeah, that's right. Teacher's watching. Real frick, you're always really good. Nice, changing those back and forth. That's the way to do it. Keeping that agility. Your back is staying really, really nice there. Good job. All right, Germanicus, checking you out. Good, nice way. You've always had to change back and forth because you got about 3 steps there. So that's a good job. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to dig into those a little bit more. Really pop them. That's it. Put that energy. I want you to create one piece I'd like to see more out of you is a little bit more pop. And we're going to create a little bit of that. We'll talk about that later as well. Estrania, it's nice to see you with us. Glad you made it. Awesome. Good to see you. Let's see who else we got. Look like Grimmer. Hopefully he's all right. I don't see him on the screen. Awesome. Hopefully he got these in and is getting water. All right. I'm going to go back to me. There we go. I have that paperwork I just put out there. Yeah. So the next one is we can do these 2 at a time. Right. So I do these outside the ladder a lot. These are normal stance. We're going to shoot forward. This is a long jab. You should get, this is one of these exercises. We spent a lot of time trying to really see how far we could get. We even put a measuring tape down. It's like, and we try to see how far we could get those. And then 1 step back. So in this case, what's happening is we're out of range here, and I'm like, hey, and then I'm back and I can throw because I'm still in range. Right? So the idea is like, hey, I'm here, bang, bang. Okay, anything that's going to freeze them in position. This could also change on how you make this long step. You're push here, I'm here, I'm hey, back. So my back could be at angles as well.
All right. Long jab. Nice. And this could literally just be a step backwards. So long jab. No, not really. It's literally you just stretch his leg out. You want
And you're taking extra steps. It's just
Yeah, I
one,
mean, you
maybe
literally-
one step, and then one step back. There you go. Yeah.
Too many things.
Yeah.
Then switch foot.
All right. Other side.
Switch foot.
All right, switch foot.
Sarah, is it okay to put a stick in my hand? Because I keep wanting to jump forward and punch somebody doing this.
And now that wrong baller's here, we have to do this backwards or he yells at us.
You notice he's not doing it with us though.
He's over here warming up. Focus.
Toe. Off the toe. You're long-legged. I'm gonna take another lane.
Yes, it does. Especially backwards. He's like
My small
3
step.
steps. I know, it's crazy. Yeah, and then we're going to work on your hips in a bit here. I don't want to change that too fast. I want to see what you're doing out here and fighting a little bit.
Absolutely.
Because leaning forward style is there's a lot of kingdoms that do that style. All Al-Qaeda does. Yeah, yeah, here, hang out there. And then, you know, Duke Valharic does that here a bit on fighting lefty. We'll just show you how we usually do ours, where you can stay in that stuff. The key is, even if you're forward, just understanding where your balance is,
Absolutely.
right? That's it.
Well, it's just, I'm looking forward to incorporating some of this in 20 years
Exactly.
there.
Exactly.
And it's, you want to get a lefty?
Yeah.
If they're not looking.
Yeah. So I had, so switch feet, 2 back, 1 forward. Yeah, part still active out there? Yeah, part. Where was he? The Hollywood guy.
Okay. You know, I know the name.
Yeah, he was out there for a long time. Long blonde hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from San Diego.
Yeah. All right.
Now we're doing the 90-degree.
So now we're doing a 90-degree turn. Again, this is all about trying to understand where you're turning your feet to make movement. If I do not turn and I want to get over there and I don't turn this front foot, it's hard to make that transition. Now I'm at a quarter, essentially quarter of what I should be turning.
Bring your ankle.
And you're twisting your knee and spraining your ankle. The idea is point down that ladder. Again, this is helping understand your balance, because you're just flowing from one position to the next. This is the front foot forward for me. You can do this, start with your back foot forward. It's okay, whichever way you want. As long as you do both. So here we're doing a front foot turn. That's it. Turn that foot. Yep. So by turning that foot, what's really happening is you're turning your hips. I'm going to watch a little bit while everybody does this. Germanicus is like, oh, dang. Hey, we got Grimmer back. Let's see how he's doing. Hey, he gets the judgment look. There we go. Let's see that again, Grimmer. Watch those hops. You don't need those hops. There you go. Don't hop, just slide. Your shoulders are over your hips. Straighten that back. Get those hips under you, even more. Straight up and down. There we go. Oh, you look, you're straight. Now you're, yes, exactly. You notice you hop when you're not straight. And then when you're straight, it's just smooth. You see how smooth that was? And then you lean and you hop your feet back. So don't hop those. There you go. Just smooth through it, almost like you're walking. There we go. Good. Keep that back. Look up. You're fighting Andre the Giant. There we go. Even you have to look up with him. All right. So let's go through. You all know you have to do your back foot, your front foot, your back foot, switch, and then switch your feet and do those. And then we're going to do them backwards this week because we don't do them backwards enough. So let's get a little bend on those, Germanicus. I want to see a little bit more work on these. Yeah, keep those knees nice. There you go. Yeah, keep those. Yeah, you're pushing it. Yep. Push your height. There we go. All right. So I want you to stop for a second, Germanicus. I want to see a nice one-step flow right through just one movement. Ready? Because right now you're swinging back and forth. I want to take the swing out for a second. All right. Now I want it a little faster. Burst through it. There you go. Burst. Burst. He's like, aha. You see how we're adding a burst into these? This is one piece that I want to see you do a little bit more, as I want to see you add a burst and then calm it down, and add a burst and calm it down. There, that's what we're looking for. You see the difference, Germanicus? Now, stop pulling those shoulders forward. We were working on that last week. Pull those shoulders back. Yep, there we go, good. Keep those shoulders back. Right now, you're still pulling. You see the arch in the back? Pull those shoulders back. Good. Much better. We're going to keep working on that until you get that. Okay. Alessandra, how you doing over there? Feel good? Same thing. Do that burst like Germanicus was just doing here. So sometimes it's really easy just to get into flow, and then we lose that opportunity to burst. We're going to burst into our opponents. We're not going to they're not going to let us waltz into their range or around them. We have to burst through that. So any of these you can do on a Pell. So if Dan is my Pell, here I am, and I'm leaning here, I can literally I can essentially change this and do it sideways a little bit. All right. So you can just think about changing the range at which you're doing it, or he could essentially walk at me. Here we are, and as he walks at me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my feet. So here I am, and here I am. Am I doing it right? Here we go. There we go. I'm doing my 45s on him. I'm sorry. This is one I don't do enough, so obviously that's one I have to practice. But like the 45s, here's our 45s on a walking man at you. Here we go. Here's 145, and then he walks half, and I'm doing a backward 45. Trying to just change it. And then when he goes backwards, I can do those same 45. So this is what, if you have a partner, that's what you do with a partner, and then your partner. All right, so again, we can do these backwards. In the backwards form, this time I'm going to do front foot. We're falling it backwards. Here I am. Right? So front foot turns back. Okay. Make sure you swing. These are the ones I have to do it. Dan's going to show you guys. No, you went forward there. Wait a second. No, I'm confused.
I can do it.
You can do it?
Skipped in the world.
There we go.
All right, so I did one backwards already, so I'm going to do my regular foot pointing down the
All right.
ladder. So there.
Good. Really, this is all about where you're pointing your foot.
Point down the ladder.
And back.
Point down the ladder.
That's kind of what I was doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it always takes me. I'm going to do my back foot because I swing. My problem is I want to swing that foot all the time, and then I do that on my front foot, and then I lose my stance. I have really hard time with my front foot here.
I just now realized that you can point your toe in the direction that you're going or opposite of the direction that you're going.
Way around, yes. So when you lead your front foot on this backwards exercise, you really remember that back foot has to swing very deep because your front foot's just dragging into position. So what I have a bad habit of is I get here, I don't swing this deep enough, then I want to bring the foot back. That's not right. The idea is, here we are, big swing. Big swing. I'm going to do these just because I have so much problems with them, including balance.
Your eyes were.
Oh, we run out of things.
I've only done that.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead. Everybody get some water. So a few people haven't done some of the first ones. They're gonna run through some of these first ones to get them done. Go ahead, finish them up. And then we're gonna talk a little bit of tension, and we're gonna talk about that lean to throw.
Real
I
solid.
as far as I'm a computer guy, really. Most people think I'm either. Used to be people thought I was a social worker because I tend to I connect with people well.
Hey, Bronis, remember we can hear things on the microphone, right?
I know. I'm right here. We're just talking. It's okay.
Okie dokie.
Thank you though for letting me know.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I just am a special ed teacher. So.
Oh yeah, and then everybody else.
I just figured out that you can point your toe the direction you're going or the opposite the direction you're going.
All right. Well, one good part is my hotspot seems to be working. I'll work on getting a speaker. Kind of like Louis inside has Bluetooth. That would make it easier. So as usual, that's our drills today. Actually, we're going to do a couple more just because we haven't done them for a while. We're going to do a couple of rotational drills just because I want to make sure people still remember those rotational drills. And for us here, we're going to do, I'm going to change the camera view because we're going to do our rotationals, and we'll pick some trees so we can do multiple people. A few people are armoring up, which is fine. I'm going to change the view to the tree here, and I should probably pick a smaller tree to do this, but. All right. So again, on our rotational drills, Let me turn that a little bit more. And you just pick a point on the ground. Doesn't need to be a tree. It doesn't need to be anything. It could just be put a chair in front of you, put a pole in front of you, put a dot on the ground. I don't care. The idea is make sure you know your distance. We have a chart with kind of a layout chart with a ladder in it and a diagram for rotational drills. I'll post that back up again later. All we're doing is the first one was to do this gather foot around the tree. Again, that body has to stay straight. And it's just, you're falling into that direction. The key on these rotational drills, just to remind everybody, is if I don't turn this foot in, if I don't turn, then I'm just going sideways. And I lose distance from my opponent. And my hips are no longer on my opponent. You have to point your foot around your opponent. So if I keep my hands like this, my hands should always have my opponent in between them. Okay, and then we do the same thing back the other way. The other foot, drop step forward. You remember, I can lift this, shoot sideways, lift, shoot sideways. Later, you don't need to lift anymore because you can just slide it on the ground because you know that distance. We haven't done these for a while, so I just wanted to remind people of these things. The second one on this becomes the shuffle step. This is, again, that shuffle step shows you how much more distance you get. Again, this time we shift the balance here. This foot comes in front, just like the ladder drill, except we're turning our feet. And here we are. And if you start swinging, you can actually get a little more distance. This is where you can actually count how long it takes you to make a full rotation. What we have found is regular rotation with a drop step. You know, back when we had a bob in front of us, was about 8 steps around, shuffle steps around 6. And then we'll show you the back step, which ends up around 4. So in the last step is a swinging step. We can swing, you would think, a forward step, across. So this is just a crossing step. One hard part about doing this swinging step with the front is you're leading with that front hip. So you really have to torque your foot out in the angle to get, but now we got to swing this back one over. Doesn't put you in great striking form. So what we've learned is to add a little bit of a changing step, or what we call a switch step. We didn't actually do that on the ladder today, but there's a switch step where essentially you can actually do a switch step and then go back if you want. Right? That's one way to do it. Or you can add the switch step as part of the movement. What we do is I step out in a drop step and then a swing step. Let me do that so you can all see it. Here I am. I step, clears my front foot, and then I'm back into form again. The tree's here. So you can see the distance in this step ends up very large. Because the more you swing this back step, just like when we're doing the back shuffle step sideways, the longer distance you have. So in this case, changing the feet, opening that back step, the hip is forward all the time, I can throw. That's why we do that way. So we just do that around the tree the whole time. And we get used to that. Little step forward, swinging back. Little step forward, swinging it back. Again, if your arms are out, that tree's always in front of you. If you're a little side stance, that's perfectly fine as well. I can make sure that I am just where my body lands is where I want to be. You don't have to be square. If you want to be slightly angled, then work on making sure your body's there all the time. So we're going to go back the other way. So in this case, if I was off, if I was what they call a funny foot or a lefty, this would have just been a normal back step, right? So you could practice at both feet, which is a good idea. In my case, I'm a shield forward person. This case, my back is already open. So I just do it. I don't need to take the extra changing step in that position. And then we rotate all the way around with that step. So those are the 3 again. So you could literally go ahead and do this and then back again. So this is like we do on the ladder and we change those. So I could be like, oh, I'm over here. Nope. Over here. Bigger step. Back step. Back step. Crossing front step. Step forward step. Switch it. Right? So you just can switch those up, and that's your opponent. This is made to rotate around your opponent. One of our worst habits we have is we tend to fall straight back or fall straight forward. If I'm going to strike somebody, I'm going to show you how this works against people. Let me turn this for a second. There we go. So if he's going to strike me and I'm out of range, I usually see a big step forward. Yeah, he has to readjust. I voided the shot because I went sideways, stayed in range, and was able to do something. There's a timing piece here. I have to have good connection with my opponent. This is something we've worked on and will continue to work on. And as soon as I see those shoulders get tense, there's that foot move. But I'm still in throwing range. He made a good adjustment, perfectly fine. Some people will make better adjustments than others. But the idea here is later as you get comfortable, where we see a huge difference, watch what happens if he steps with his back foot. Right? So he steps, what I'm doing is I'm stepping over the free area and falling into the free area. Now I could literally change that up and make it much more difficult. He steps with, in this case, he's going to step with that front foot. Now his hips are actually rotating in a position that makes it harder. He has to swing, over swing. Exactly. So if you could step over somebody's foot, this is really fundamental to boxing. If I know he's stepping with his back foot, it makes it very difficult for him to respond. Exactly. That's that part of timing. Takes a lot of effort to get into that place. Takes a little bit of, it's nice to have a partner because they can help you. But I want to show you how those breaking lines work all the time. Just to give everybody an example, I fought Jason or Lionel last week, and he's been ripping it up out here against everybody. Super good. Even the week before, he hit me a number of times. Even Ron Baller's been having issues with him. He's just really doing a nice job. Last week, I applied hard feet constantly. And those look constantly like this. I was just always moving. And he wasn't sure which way I was going to go. Right? Bang. Right? And I had tons of feet involved before I found my striking position. And he never had an opportunity really to attack me. And after it was done, he's like, okay, I'm glad you stopped because I was done. And the good part was I went from last week not feeling in control to this, or 2 weeks ago not feeling in control, to feeling in control because I was just constantly moving. So feet matter. How you use them is very important. So we just went through the rotationals. I'm going to show you the next piece. And again, this is on the Pell. So we have that long with a number of fall-in steps. We haven't done this one probably for months. Let's see, from Bess. Okay, no problem, Bess. So I haven't done this one for probably months. And that is our fall-in drill. And we see these all the time. Essentially what's going to happen here is I'm way outside. Give you guys a picture in front of me so they can see it. He is very far away. Reach your sword out. You guys could probably see his sword a little. There we go. A little farther. So if I reach my hand out, I can barely touch his sword right here. So here's where this falling knee. Here, look, this is our exercise, right? Look, and then I'm here, right? So you can just fall with it. If I'm leaning this way, I fall down. He has opportunity. Again, we're falling head up, right? If you're tall, I want you to look above their head. You're the same size, look at their eye. If you always want to be looking, if you're a little bit small, make sure you fall in and you're looking up, because that's where your shots are going. But in this case, here I am, I'm leaning on this toe. What I see a lot is nobody wants to lean. They're flat-footed, and then they have to step. That step is his time to throw. In here, I'm going to put him in a tiny bit of tension. I want you to start throwing as soon as I start moving, okay? As soon as you think I'm going to fall in and throw. Exactly, I didn't do it yet. So what I'm happening here, I put a little pressure on him. He wasn't sure. Now I'm breaking down in his head. I'm breaking down, is he coming or not? Because if I can get him to throw, and then his sword's not in the right position anymore, I can pin that sword, fall in after him. But if he's not sure when I'm going to throw, go, see, now he's not sure. And then I'm on him. That's the piece. You have to find your timing. And what I see in a number of the Germanicus, Grimmer, what I see is you guys, you're not placing that changing that time, being patient in here. You know, leaning forward a little, pulling back out. Lean forward a little, pull back out. Exactly. So here I'm pushing him a little bit, I fall, and then I change. So that was the step we worked on before. These are these. I'm going to fall forward, bang, bang, in a gather step or a drop step. I can do that the other way. In this way, I want that drop step because I'm falling forward. I'm here in his pocket, and then I'm over his foot, over that front foot. If he's funny-footed, I may want to break over this foot. Here I am. I fall here, and then I break over that foot. So that's the direct fall and break to either side. Those are the ones we practice. The other one we practice in here is that long jab, bang, and then break out. This one I use a lot in fighting. Bang. Then I break out. Again, if I just jump in, we're in both strong positions. He's in his best defense and offense. I'm in my best defense and offense, but really I don't want him there. I don't want him in his best defense and offense. I want to take my long jab shot, and then I want to change an angle so he has to change. Okay, that's the big part. We always want to change these angles. If I stand here too long, he's finding his time, setting his feet, and now he can pop. He's very comfortable here. But if I'm here, I'm like, there's nowhere for him to set his feet. With somebody that sets their feet all the time, that constant moving offline is very difficult. We can learn to set our feet faster. Here I am, I'm on a constant movement, bang, and I'm throwing actually in the movement. And the funny part is we talk about this with our pad drills and so on. We don't practice throwing in movement. Very rarely do we see somebody walking and throwing, changing angles and throwing, right? Changing angles and throwing. We try it in practice or in sparring, but he's going to do something different every time. To actually understand something, you want to see it again and again and again, so that you can make muscle memory out of it. If I fight somebody one time, and then I'm off to the next person and they're doing something different I have to adjust to, then I'm off to the next person, they're doing something different, I'm never getting that opportunity to learn that muscle memory. So by breaking these out, we become better martial artists. So again, those were back to the old days. We added the rotationals, some of the fall in, the long jab steps in with breaks on the corners. Those breaks could be straight back also. In other words, I could do a jab and then go back and create that distance instead of going all the way around. But you have to use these in practice. If you're not using them, then you're not going to understand what's working, what's not working. So what I've been seeing a lot in practice is the lack of threat. I don't even need a sword to threat. Here I am. This is a threat. I'm dropping up on this toe and getting closer to that arm. He's comfortable because I'm far away. If I just throw a shot, he doesn't care. As soon as I do this, he's not comfortable anymore. Right, I did a switch foot real fast. I changed. Now I'm pushing over here. Then I push. I'm changing. Remember that box we talked about? This is one thing I've seen very little of. Is we have that box. And we're not pushing the corners of the box. We technically have a cube, a box in front and the box in back. So if I'm close enough, I'm gonna, he can see I'm gonna push it way back. You see how he's pulling his head back? Because he knows I'm going to that backside corner. Now I'm pushing down to that leg and back up to the back. Exactly. But if I constantly push one position, they don't care. Now he gets time to set up what he wants. So what I see is there's a lot of waiting happening out there. And then that person, I want to do something. So I'm like, and then that person's going to throw stuff. And they're throwing stuff. I throw something and then they're in throwing stuff. You need to make sure they're not sure when you're going to throw stuff. So if that means tap them on the basket, bang, bang, hey, bang. Take the basket, hook round. Essentially, this is no different than a two-shot combination. Bang, bang. Except we don't have to take the first shot. Leaves our body in better position. Less energy. Exactly. So, and if you have a counter shooter, you get to learn if they're a counter shooter or not. Because if I throw that first shot, bang, and he's throwing, I never learn and he's going to hit. But if I throw a fake, hey, and he starts throwing, I'm like, oh, thank you very much. Now he knows the counter shooter. Watch this. Hey, hey. So now I delay for a second and I become the counter. So that's how we have to break down a fight. Remember, we want to see those weaknesses. Find those weaknesses early in the fight and then take advantage of those weaknesses. And so a little bit of what I saw at Germanicus in your fight is there's times when you're not, the reason why I asked you to burst more today is because first you're out here on those swords, first like you're going to throw something, but don't throw it. And see what if your opponent falls back, falls in, stays in place, and maybe there is an opportunity. But learn what it is first. What I see a little bit is you're using these feet sideways, they're a little smooth. This is another reason why I wanted you to get into bursty stuff. Your goal in the drills from now on is to be much more bursty. Okay? What I see is like, I'm moving over here, I'm moving over here. It's very easy to follow this. But if I'm like, it's harder for your opponent to follow that.
Okay.
Now add that with a little bit of tension. Now I'm changing a little bit of these drops into, hey, I'm going to throw out your leg. Oh, I'm throwing up here. Now I went over here, but I threw with this hand. All right. So this is something you can practice on the Pell a little bit, Germanicus, is those little hard fakes and then set up something and throw. Key on the throw is as fast as you throw this sword has to come back. What I see is, give me this, is I've been seeing you, stand right here. You're throwing these and you're like, and then these stay down and they're really long to come back. So a little bit is what I've seen before is to throw that and then you're pulling it back with your hand. So you're down and then you're pulling it back with your hand straight back. That's actually really difficult in time. The idea is I'm going to throw this and I'm going to kick this elbow out, pull this back up. What that does is it creates a little bit of a loop to get this back into position. Do it with my other hand, strike, elbow, this hand literally, strike comes across, this hand starts turning out and coming back into position. If I'm down here and I try to bring it back in the same path, opportunity to be hit, and it's a longer thing to get back. And it's harder to get back into your original position. Whereas bang, and then literally I can sometimes just drop right back into it. I'm dropping, I'm doing it slow. Here, watch now as I pull this elbow out, I drop a little bit with it, create a smaller target, and that sword pops right back into the position it's supposed to be in. So Germanicus, in our case with you, we have to get that fixed. So I want you to, this week, I want you to go out, I want you to hit the Pell and I want you to work on this and you're going to send me video. Is that okay, Germanicus? Give me a thumbs up.
Yeah, I just hadn't thought about using the elbow to lead the shot in terms of the recovery.
Exactly.
Exactly. So I really want to work this on you to fix your recovery. If you fix your recovery, you're going to be much more control and ready to throw a second shot. We're also going to add some timing. I had to do this. This one's going to be harder for you because you don't really, at practice, you don't really have a partner to do this all the time. But this may be something you have to work on a Pell, and I'll show you how you can work it on a Pell. It's going to be more difficult, but when you have a partner, I'm going to show you what we practice, and I'm going to use him as my student. Okay, come in. Oh, there you go. So stay right there. As soon as I take step in the range, I'll have I don't have my pad with me right now, but he has a foam sword, so it's not going to be a big deal. As soon as I step, I want him to throw. Now your hand went down. Throw. Hand went down. Throw straight out. Why's your hand down? Turn it at the end. Not at the beginning. There we go. Okay. So the idea is, as soon as I step, you're picking up that movement. What's happening a little bit is your timing is a little broken. You got it. So if you have to do this on your Pell, think about your Pell. You step away, bang, at the same time. Or get too far outside your Pell, and if you want, step, bang, same time. Okay? But a small step, not a long step. You want to make sure that that timing is perfect. So here we are. I step, he throws. Good. Okay. Top sword. Good. So now I'm going to be way out here, ain't I? See how he's picking up the very beginning. Now I really want you to concentrate on how I'm leaning. I'm not going to let him know when I'm stepping. Good. Ready? Now I'm faking. So it's a little hard for you guys to see. I apologize. I'm giving him some fakes like I'm coming. I don't want him to know. Exactly. So what you're doing is we're building that time. And that is something both you, Germanicus, and Grimmer, you both need to build that time correctly. For the rest of you, if you have a partner, I want you to just this step, because I know a number of you have been getting out to practice with people, is just practice that. Get your pad, hand pad. I have one. Hold on. All right. Now I can do this safely. So, with your partner, here we are. I'm going to step. Now, reach. You were way too close, aren't we? Good. Sit. Where's your back foot? You're too linear. That's better. You're still dipping down with your throw. It should be coming straight at my face. There we go. See, now we're even too close there because that comes straight at my face. Now, for you folks that I'm going to show something real. I'm going to get closer to the camera. Here we go, right here. What we have going on here, a little closer, is watch his hand dip as he's throwing. You see how that dips first? That is not straight at my face, right? So by not dipping and throwing that hand across at the same level that you're throwing, that's straight at me. So now all of a sudden, if his hand dips, he doesn't have, you see how it kind of pulls everything in his body. But this, he's going to extend that hand all the way out. Okay, drive the top of the sword. Push that straight at me, not across. So now I'm way out here. Good. That's much better. Now, he hasn't leaned forward on any of these yet. Watch what happens. This time he's going to lean forward and throw. Right? So he leaned and he threw. Good. See how much farther you can get? So work that timing place. Also, remember, sometimes you're going to bring this in because I get too close. So if I'm really close, he kind of has to bring it in. But remember, you're still going out. Okay. Last part, and this is another exercise that's good to practice, is I want you to get on, I'm his Pell. So go ahead and throw your shot.
Good. Watch his feet. Yeah, don't move. Just stay where you are. Are those good feet? Are those good feet? You comfortable? This is where you believe you're supposed to be. I'm literally just asking. Okay. Good. That's it. Push that out at him. Yeah. You notice he doesn't have to shift his feet at all. There is no movement going on in his body. So we're not using that leaning. So now get at your distance that you think we should be. There we go. Good. And back. Now, I want you to look at his front foot in this. There you go. Now he's getting that. Reach out, bend those toes, and get your hips under you. There we go. Do it again. Watch you. See, you're super deep. This is why you're falling. There we go. Good. Don't go out to your side when you recover. Right back into pointing at me. Point at me. Where you're pointing. Front fingers at me. All right. Fingers at my face. There you go. Fingers at my face. Good, and back. Onto your back foot now. There you go. Okay. So all we're doing is we're leaning and we're throwing. So what I'd like each of you to do is find that Pell, get at just the outside of range. If he stays flat-footed, can you hit it? Right. Get down in your legs and throw. You notice he can't. Now watch. Lean a little forward and throw. There we are. And then all the way back again. So when you do this, you lean forward. Now get all the way back. There you go. Tuck that back. Get 90. Front 90, back 90. When I say 90, I say 90%. From back to front. Shift that balance. Watch that hip. There we go. Good. You're bending out when you're. Good. Nice. He's turning his back foot, which is very nice. Freeze the hip on the turn. Get in those legs. You notice when you sit in those legs, you can get deeper, can't you? Okay. So you notice I told him to sit in his legs. He can actually push that shot deeper because there's more balance in your body. So really what I'd like to see both of you take some video, and anyone else that wants to, I want you to take some video on the Pell. And you can ask Wilfrick and Craig. I used to do this for Wilfrick all the time. That's how we got here. Craig some as well. And that you're just don't have to be an hour of video. It's just like go through 10 shots. If you have to, you want to, change your feet, change your shot, do another 10 shots, send me the video. But the idea is I want you to lean, strike that, come back. Notice I can lift. Lean, strike that, come back. Right? And then actually practice a couple full speed. Bang. Bang. And I want to get a camera side angle so that I can see how your body is stacked. All right. So those types of things will help me tweak your throw a little bit, and we can make sure that we're getting the right body motion out of it. And you will start understanding your real distance, because I think one big issue is Grimmer, your range was a bit wrong when you were fighting this weekend. You're falling out when you don't need to, and you're having to step in to throw shots. You're fighting a shorter man. You should literally be able to hit him out of range before he can hit you. But you weren't pressuring things. You had to, you hit him in the offside a number of times. You pressured it offside, then work a step around outside leg, right? That kind of thing. So, all right. Well, I think we're probably a little early today, but I kind of covered. Yeah, we're almost 2 hours, but I know we started a little bit late. This goes for everybody. If you want to practice those shots on a Pell, do it. Send a video. We'll look at those. Let's just start with the range piece where you're leaning, throwing, and returning. Germanicus, leading, throwing, returning. If you want to throw them lower, I don't care. Lean down, throw, return. Look at elbow pops out on that return. What's happening is you're dragging this back. You're pulling this up first, which is still leaving a bad line. And then you get the elbow out late. Here, elbow. And that returns right into that. Your sword's always in front of your face. All right. So I want to see that. Send that to me. We'll work through that. Anybody else that wants to send, let's work through those things. Let's work. The good part about video is I'm going to make you, I'll be like, all right, I want you to go through your video and tell me how many times you lean. Okay. Because I want you to evaluate yourself too.
But it is fine to we all make errors, including me. And I go back and I'm like, oh, I got to fix that, right? And it's 30 years and I still got to fix that. But that's how you stay good, is by keeping learning, keeping fixing stuff. So I want to thank everybody for coming out, and we'll keep working this. Just so everybody knows, I'm uploading all of these videos. I just downloaded them all and uploaded them into the Coach's Corner YouTube library. I'll be posting them soon. I got to get some graphics on there, and we're going to highlight our drills, what drills we did, and then what conversations and focus that practice was on, so that others can participate in that. I hope if people have a issue with that, please go ahead and let me know. I can, we can always work on reviewing those, making sure you're not in there and blacking some stuff out. But there's a lot of people that have been wanting and asking about these practices, so I want to make sure they have a chance to go places and look at them. It's also going to help us. They're like, we covered breath. I'm going to go back to that breath video and go through that. So, and it's going to help me. I want to kind of write up a path of the training we did through this and make sure I didn't miss anything and what maybe we need to refocus on. So thanks everybody for once again coming out today. Just so that you know, everybody who's been doing these have really, I get a lot of feedback and a lot of people looking for these all the time, but it's you guys that made this happen. And what I mean is, if I started this and nobody was here, I wouldn't have kept going. I wouldn't have kept it online. I wouldn't have changed my thing each practice to focus on the next level of thing all the way up. I wouldn't have spent so much time trying to help you understand the details of it so that you could train others. Those are, I wouldn't have done all those things. And now, because you guys stayed here with us, it really created a great library for people to learn from. And hopefully we can use that library ourselves to review and remember the things we did. So I have to say, I give you guys a huge thanks, because I wouldn't have done it without you. And thank you very much. And just at the end, since we're talking thanks, I can't thank Lou and Saab enough for everything they've done. And I tell you, Bess has really pushed me and made me do these as well. I would say between those three people, it's really kept me focused. Bess keeps me on my toes. Everybody's been giving a little piece all the time. I'm going to go back and look at, this stuff that Bess was, like warm-ups that Bess was doing with us and Aethwin was doing with us, because those are great warm-ups and things like that. So there's a ton of great learning here. Thanks everyone. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I have. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. I'll drop us off Facebook here and change over to my computer. Hold on. If I can see my computer, wow, sunlight's right in it. There we go. Let's see here.
Okay. Before you wrap, sir, I just got a moment story from when I was at our first emergence event. Have I muted, or can we hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You're good.
You're good. You can keep talking. I gotta find me though. There we are. I got the wrong person on there. I got Grimmer on there. Smile for us, buddy.
Hey, I got it. Yeah, I got so many compliments about my footwork and my technique when I was in an Iron Rose as well. But the one I want you to really tell you, because it's funny also, and because it was what we're talking about with thrust, is this guy did this challenge and he's really good, and he was fighting Florentine, and I haven't fought much against Florentine, and it was the challenge was to fight him like 12 times. So I got totally trounced 11 times. And on time number 12, it just goes click, click, click. But I walk up to him for the 12th time and he goes, I don't think your technique's working. And I had this moment where it could go down the, I'm going to be angry path. And it just switched off and it went bang, bang, bang from the feet up to the brain. And I just did one of your cross steps. And I would swear on the Bible it was aimed at its belly, in his belly. It went right in his nose.
Oh, no.
So they got an enormous cheer from watching. So these things, if you just keep at it all clicks in your brain and it works.
You know what? And that's exactly it. And we talked about that last week. It's, this isn't stuff that, a lot of times you're like, well, I'm not using it. You are using some of these things. Balance is balance. You just never realize you're using your balance. And as your balance gets better and better,
things just fall in place. And that's the kind of thing that you see. And then after a while, those things fall in place so much that the old bad stuff goes away and you just never realize the transition. And, you know, that's what learning is. Learning is, if I could teach you something and you remembered it every time, life would be simple. But when we get into physical stuff, learning is, you know, there's so many complex pieces to doing something physically that it takes a little bit of each one of them to do that. So,
yeah, this weekend we were down at Mountain War Games. So
oh yeah,
it was a tournament which was a shieldman and a spearman, and so William and I were fighting together, and I was a spearman, and I was horribly ineffective because you know I might but William, the footwork basically put him in, and he was just taking out both the sword and spearman.
Oh no kidding, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So his footwork just put him to square in defense and straight in.
Pretty proud moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it was just really coming together. But there were people coming who to tell me when they fought me in corner. Okay, I didn't get around or anything, but it's like they came and said that is the hardest fight I have ever had against you.
That's awesome.
I just know that it is now so close. So, and Ken, I'd like to buddy Germanicus and what he's working on. If Germanicus, it's okay with you, okay with you, Germanicus, because what is with me now, Yannick was commenting, it's my returns, and another experienced fighter who was saying it's my commitment to shots and kind of the speed and the timing as well, because I'm not quite getting the commitment to an opportunity. I'm moving a lot better.
Yes.
The opportunity comes, I'm just not quite getting in there.
And we will focus on that a little bit more for everybody, because I've noticed that we need to focus on it more. So we will definitely focus on that for everybody. And I'll think of some new drills and exercises we can do.
Cool.
And, you know, the good part is, is I'm going to make sure that everyone also knows how to teach it, because I know Bess has been doing a lot more teaching herself.
Yeah.
And I think it's super important that everybody, the more teachers we create, the better society we get in general. So, and you know what, the best part about a teacher is they create a community, and that's an amazing thing. So
I'll take some video at practice.
That sounds wonderful. All right. I want to thank everybody. You know, like everything I said, I meant 100%. So
All right.
we will see everybody maybe in a week. You don't have to show up every week. It's okay.
Oh, yes, I am.
But I know next week I have the week off, so I'll be here. And to tell you the truth, these are really, I get more practice here right now than I have been sparring. So I don't mind sharing it. You guys are kind of my practice group. So
Super.
all right. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.